Before decluttering my closet, there were some things that I was struggling with without even realizing that that's not normal. But because I wasn't the only one experiencing this, I also seen my friends, girlfriends, family, and even people online going through the same things. I kind of thought that this is normal and part of life. But now, after decluttering my closet and building a curated capsule wardrobe, I can tell you that maybe you also have some areas in your life you're struggling with that are unnecessary and that can be easily solved by decluttering your closet as well. So that's what we're talking about, 7 things I stopped struggling with after decluttering my closet. The first thing I said goodbye to were multiple try-ons, and this is something that for me happened on a daily basis, but now for the last 5+ years it just doesn't happen in my life anymore. And when I say multiple try-ons, I'm talking about when you go into your closet, you're getting ready for maybe something special, or maybe even for every day, it doesn't really matter, but you put an outfit together, you don't really like it, and then you decide to go back into your closet, pull out a few more pieces, try them on, you again don't like your outfit, you repeat the process, go into your closet, put it on, go into your closet, put it on, and then you just wear whatever. In best case scenario, you create an outfit you absolutely love, but in worst case scenario, even by trying on multiple outfits, you still don't love the outfit. And this was personally me. I made a huge mess every time I was going somewhere special. And then the worst part, I didn't love my outfit at the end. And that's because my closet was full of items that were simply wrong for me. Wrong for my body, wrong for my skin tone, for my lifestyle, and also for my personality and my preferences. So no wonder when I went in there and I assumed that everything in my closet works for me and I put things on, I felt something was off and I had to make multiple changes before settling on something that was kind of okay. But once you do a declutter, you kind of eliminate all of the wrong choices beforehand, so all you're left with are the good choices. So when you're getting ready and you open your closet, you put something on your body, you'll feel good because you kind of did the work beforehand. And that is something, as I said, I didn't even realize it's not normal because you've seen it everywhere. You also see it on the TV all of the time. If you have a character going on a date or something, they're gonna create a huge mess out of the closet and it's gonna go unquestioned. But now here I am with my experience to tell you that this is not normal. The only time that I try on multiple outfits, but that is very intentionally, is where I go something really, really special, like a really special occasion where I take the time in the afternoon or over the weekend to put a few outfits together, take a few pictures so I can truly plan my outfit and feel my best. That's the only exception that I make, but it's very strategic and intentional and not stressful at all. But all of the other getting ready, stressed, in a rush, putting things together and just feeling insane, that doesn't happen to me anymore. And then the second struggle I said goodbye to was the feeling of having nothing to wear. This is again very, very common. You see it everywhere. You see it on the TV. You see it with memes and quotes and people sharing their stories. It's kind of a common theme and you think it's normal, but I'm here to tell you it's actually not. And ironically, the bigger your closet is, the harder it is for your brain to process everything and the more likely you are to feel like you have nothing to wear. So if this feels like you, I really recommend that you try downsizing first, or if that is not an option for you, or maybe you just don't want to do it right now, you can also try rotating your closet seasonally so you have less items available at any given moment. And the reason I think this is so helpful is because when we downsize our closet, we give our brain space to process every single item that we have in our closet. This is just my theory, but I believe that when our closets are really full and messy and unorganized, our brain have trouble processing everything that we got. So that's why we kind of feel we have nothing to wear, because we cannot really remember how many singular pieces we have in there because we just have too many. And that's why it's easier to just go out and buy something new than to go into your closet and go through everything, because it feels overwhelming. We all know that moments, let's say you're invited somewhere special, you open your closet, you feel like, oh, I have nothing to wear, and then you go directly to the shop. So my personal experience is that this is coming from overwhelm and from our brain's inability to process that much information. So once we declutter our closet and we downsize a little bit, then all of a sudden we know what we have in our closet. So when we are invited somewhere, we can immediately, we don't even have to open our closet. Sometimes we can immediately know, oh, I have this item that is going to look amazing, or I have this purse, these shoes, these accessories. Because we have so little, it's very easy for us to remember and then actually wear this item when when appropriate. And then the third thing that I stopped doing is mindless shopping. This is unfortunately so common. It was back then and it still is nowadays. And that is because we have absolutely no criteria when it comes to shopping. The only question that we have to answer is, do I like this? And if the answer is yes, we are allowed or even encouraged to buy it. If you think about your family and friends and social media and commercials and all of that, they're all encouraging us to buy something we like. We have no other criteria. Maybe we think about the price point as well, but other than that, that's it. And this is a slippery slope because how easy it is for us to like something. For me personally, it's very easy, and if this is the only thing we go by, we're in trouble. But the good news is that when you do a good strategic declutter with your closet and you take your time to analyze it as well, which, you know me, I'm a huge fan of analyzing, but when you analyze the items that you decluttered and the items that you kept, and you really see the patterns emerging, you see certain colors repeating itself, you see certain fits and cuts and silhouettes, or maybe brands, materials, all of that. When you really realize what you like and what you don't like, all of a sudden your criteria, your bar of buying something is going to be raised. Because I know personally, now when I'm shopping something, I have so many questions before I even consider getting it. For example, I'm not just going to ask, do I like it? But I'm going to ask, do I love it? Is it 10 out of 10, meaning that it's absolute best? The second thing that I always ask myself, do I already have a duplicate in my closet? If the answer is yes, I'm not gonna get it. The third thing I consider, do I even have a gap in my closet for this item, or do I have very similar pieces, maybe in different colors already? The fourth thing I consider is my lifestyle. The fifth thing I consider is how comfortable it's gonna be. I also like to look at the label to see if I have to dry clean it or can I wash it at home. I have so many barriers to entry before I even buy anything, and this is something that if you feel right now that you only have one criteria or maybe two, by intentional decluttering, you can really elevate the bar and you're gonna have so much more questions, and it's gonna be so hard for you to shop mindlessly in the future. And now that we're almost at the middle of the video, I wanted to ask you that if you have any struggles you notice you stop struggling with after decluttering your closet, leave me a comment down below. I'm always so curious to hear your thoughts and experience as well. So that's the first thing. And then the second one is that if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up because it really helps me out and I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, now the next thing I realized, the change after decluttering my closet, is that I stopped overpacking. And I used to be a huge overpacker back in the day. My luggage was so heavy. I still remember how hard it was for me to bring everything from one point to the other. It was insane. But of course, after decluttering my closet and being accustomed to living with less, to dressing with less, that spilled into my traveling experiences as well. And now I'm at the point where I actually love to challenge myself to take a little bit less with me, because I don't know about you, but the more stuff that I bring with me on vacation, the more stress I feel. I have to pack everything, I have to think about everything, I have to make sure I don't forget anything. Also the worry of maybe losing your luggage or something similar. The more stuff I have, the more stress I feel. But now I realize that it's actually fun to take as little as possible because you have less stress and you can really enjoy your vacation or your traveling experience. Your luggage is not going to be too heavy. It's going to be very easy to pack, very easy to unpack, very easy to clean everything. So yeah, if you struggle with overpacking, I want to tell you that by decluttering your closet, that can get sorted on its own as well, because I personally didn't do anything special for my packing experience. I just decluttered my closet and that spilled into everything. And also last thing that I want to mention here is, again, overpacking. It's kind of normalized nowadays. Everyone seems to be overpacking. Oh, I took so much stuff with me, It's kind of a fun thing, but if you think about it, the stress of everything, the annoyance of taking everything with you, for me, it takes away from the experience. So that's just a little final note when it comes to overpacking. And then another thing that I stopped struggling with is a messy, unorganized closet, or even I stopped losing stuff. And I think this one is a no-brainer. The more stuff you have, the more effort and time and energy you have to put into maintaining it. And I remember when I had a walk-in closet, I did my best to be organized because I'm just that kind of person. I'm very organized. But even back then, it was very hard for me to keep track of everything. It was very hard for me to maintain that closet. Yes, once I put the effort in and I put put everything in its place, it looked nice for an hour or two, or maybe for a day or two if I was lucky, but most of the time it was very messy and unorganized. If you just imagine doing a 1,000-piece puzzle with 500 pieces, it's gonna be a mission impossible to fit everything. And the same goes with our closet. I've realized after I did multiple declutters that my closet is actually really easy to take care of once I have the appropriate amount of pieces, and also because I don't have too much stuff, I mentally know everything that I own, and if something goes missing, I notice right away and I can make the effort to find it, and in the long term I also lose less stuff. So if this is something you're struggling with, or maybe you even bought into the lie that an organized closet is the norm, I want to tell you that no, after decluttering your closet, it's gonna be so much easier to take care of everything that you own. Personally, I'm now at the point where my closet requires so little work that it's organized 99% of the time. I don't even have to do much except to put things back into its place, and that's it. And that all brings me to the next point, and that is that my closet stopped being my silent to-do list. I talked about this concept before, and no, I didn't come up with it. It was written in books, but the idea is that every single item in our home is speaking to us, even if we don't realize it. And of course, the same goes for our closet. So if you just imagine opening your wardrobe and standing there for a second, slowly you're gonna start hearing certain things. Maybe you have jeans that don't fit you that say to you, lose the weight already. Maybe you have a really expensive item you never worn that says, why did you buy me? Why did you waste so much money? Wear me already. Maybe you have dirty laundry on the floor that says, wash me, wash me. And that's roughly how our clothes are speaking to us. Some are really loud, some are even bullying us, especially clothes that don't fit us. Ugh, those are the worst. But then on the other hand, you also have content, happy items that are fairly quiet and they don't say anything. So of course it makes sense that once we do a declutter and we remove all of these bullies out of our wardrobe, that we declutter all of these items that we never wear, all of these expensive items that we feel guilty about. Once we declutter all of that stuff, our closet stops being a to-do list and actually becomes a wardrobe we can enjoy and we can wear. And I know this concept sounds a little bit silly, but it's actually life-changing. And I remember in the past, my closet was an insanely long, silent to-do list. My closet just always wanted me to do something, to change something, to wash something, to put something away, to wear something, to lose weight, to do this, to do that. I remember how exhausting it was, but once I did the declutter and I removed all of these loud pieces, now my closet actually feels like it's working for me and it's serving me, not the other way around. And then the last thing that happened very unexpectedly is that I stopped comparing myself to others. And this is actually so deep, I didn't even realize it's gonna happen with just me decluttering my closet. But I remember before curating my capsule wardrobe, I was constantly comparing myself, comparing my style to others, my clothes, how I looked to others, my hair to others, even body to others. I was constantly looking outside of myself to how others were dressing, and I just wanted to fit in and I wanted to be popular and pretty, and you know, especially when I was a teenager, that was kind of normal. And I didn't even realize how exhausting that was at that point. I was even hyper vigilant when it came to my style. I was constantly observing if trends are changing, if I have to buy something new, if I have to follow along, if I have to fit in, if I have to change something, do something. I could never just relax with my closet, with my style, and with the way I am. But then after decluttering my closet, I suddenly relaxed. I realized what works for me, what I like, independent of other people. Because I also analyzed my declutter and keep piles, I realized what my style is. I started shopping mindfully and I really honed into my style, and I no longer feel bad about myself based on the trends or what other people are wearing. A good example with this is skinny jeans. I know lately they're kind of having a comeback, but I know in the middle point, some people decluttered all of their skinny jeans out of their closet and they bought everything with wide jeans, and now they're repeating the circle again. They're buying loads of skinny jeans and they're just going through trends and all of that. But I personally love my skinny jeans and I kept them even when they were not trendy, and I have them now that they're kind of trendy again, and I don't even care, to be honest. I'm not even sure what this trend is with skinny jeans. I just see a few glimpses here and there. But the idea is that after you declutter your closet and find your style, you're gonna relax with your style, and you're gonna stop comparing yourself, and you're just gonna get so much more freedom and confidence, because all of a sudden it doesn't matter what everyone else is wearing, it matters how you feel in your clothes, and that's enough. And yes, sometimes trends can be fun. We can see what other people are wearing and we can get inspired to try something similar. But again, we are not doing this to fit in or to prove something to someone, but for ourselves, to experiment and to have just a little bit more fun. Now, if this makes you feel inspired to go through your closet and declutter everything, then I have a video that it's life-changing on the best way to declutter your closet that you can watch right after this one. Thank you as always for stopping by today, and I will see you next time.